everyone, and welcome to this upcoming boys basketball matchup between the Dartmouth High School Spartans and the Woodlawn Panthers. And immediately start with a layup finish by Dalen Hutchinson. One attempt and one make. We're up to a 2-point lead early on for the Panthers. There's almost a steal made by Josh Moores, who is one of the star players for the Panthers. And there's a steal immediately quickly by the Woodlawn Panthers as they head into transition. Ball handled by Cole Croft. Croft with a quick hand out over to one of the other players, Jacob Drain, who's a notable player. The contact, no foul, no problem for Hutchinson. A perfect 2 of 2 to start. Early 4-point lead. And another quick response early on for the Spartans team to break that 4-0 quick run. One just missed. Again, the Spartans in transition, but of course by Antoine Beals, who gives the handoff. The runner just missed by Jaden Vernigan. Inside pass down on the post to McInnes. And I believe there was a peaceful block. Beals may have gotten a hand on it. No good ball movement. And again, Hutchinson absolutely feeling it here. Perfect 3 of 3 to start the day. He's just made one from distance, and now he's made a couple inside of the paint. And there's another runner for the Spartans. And a foul called here, the first of tonight, to go against the Spartans. So you have Josh Moores, the free throw line for his first attempt. Pure. Free throws so critical in basketball. They can sometimes make the difference between winning and losing when you look at the final stat sheet. Perfect 2 of 2. And you have the Panthers extend their lead by 5 with 8:08 left to go in this first quarter. Beals driving all the way and well defended, well played. Was able to throw up at a travel called turnover will remain with Woodlawn. Hutchinson already responsible for 7 of the 9 points scored by the Panthers. It's a nice pass inside, great ball movement, the extra pass to the open man. No good, rebound by Hutchinson, gets fouled, throws it up. Just missed on the end one opportunity. But he'll go to the free throw line for a few. So far, the first free throws taken by Josh Moores was 2 of 2. Now the team's official 3 of 3. Beals, the handoff to Downey. Downey just misconnects. Extra chance, second chance opportunity stolen away by Jackson McInnes. Here comes a transition. Hutchinson already with 11 points. Nice kick out, top of the key. That is 2 3-pointers made by the Panthers. That's the 5th point scored by Josh Moores. And that's good for the Spartans. And a foul called. So far, early on, it's been very tough for the Spartans to contain the passing and the absolute blazing shot making from Hutchinson. Are you kidding me? He's perfect from the field, hasn't missed a shot. already Hutchinson, donning the number 5 Panthers jersey. He's been out of his mind, fake the three-pointer, side to drive in the lane. Great down inside pass. Not only scoring it, but dishing it to McGinnis. They have not missed a shot, and Beals trying to stop the bleeding. And cannot a commanding 19-7 lead. Open, on fire again. Everyone's enjoying it from 3, and a timeout called here in Dartmouth High Gymnasium. It's almost hard to believe what this team has been able to do up to this point, as they have scored 22 points. They have made 4 three-pointers, so 12 of the 22 points coming from behind the arc, and it's mostly been led by Dalen Hutchinson, who we were talking about early on, started to get the scoring going for the Panthers and has 12 of the 22 points. Just a tremendous start, and you really couldn't ask for anything more. As you can see, some of the shooting displays there. Everyone's spreading the wealth, and that's what you have to love so far early on from this Panthers team, is their ability to play is what you call in NBA terms Spurs-like basketball, giving the extra pass, being unselfish, high basketball IQ plays. And if you're Dartmouth on the other end, you just need to buy a couple of baskets. They've had some few misses, and they're trying to drive inside the paint, but they have a ton of defenders that are clogging up the lanes, making it very difficult for this Dartmouth High team to try and score points inside. So they're going to have to try to take the advantage from the mid-range and some pick and pop, pick and roll to get some of these scorers going. Here's Beals. He's guarded by Drain. So far, Drain has been quiet. He's one of the better players. That's a good pass play out of the timeout. That's a steal, picked up away by Victor Amani. Quickly to Beals, who's leading this transition offense for the Spartans. Goes to Murray, who loses it, gets pickpocketed away, stolen by Moores. Moores driving on Amani. Moores losing handle control of it, goes out of bounds, and will remain with Dartmouth. And there's a steal by Moores, goes coast to coast, and then does. And there is a make. So after that timeout, you saw Dartmouth get a couple of baskets, but defensively they'll need to ration things a little bit up to try and get their way back into it. And they do. There's a steal by Amani. That's a few steals that he's had in this first quarter, and stolen almost right back by the Panthers, but they keep it. Tough, contested shot from Murnaghan. Can't come up with it. After fighting for it, an extra opportunity. Great pass inside and finished by Khalil Smith. But that was all because of the extra effort from Jamal Downey. Able to keep the ball in possession alive, gave that pass to Smith, and no problem. So far, cutting into this deficit. What was it, 22-9 game at one point. Now only 24-13. Dartmouth trying to cut into this lead and make it single digits. Beals, good pass inside to Amani. Too easy. And that's the unselfish basketball that's going to get you points, the extra pass. And as we say that, playing some bully ball was known Croft. I've been keeping the stats correctly up to this point. I do not believe the Panthers have missed a shot, or if they did, it was maybe one or two. Pass inside to Smith, who scored a few, gets fouled and hacked. And he'll go the charity stripe. This will be the first free throws for the Spartans. Splits those free throws for Smith. And blocked, but you're going to call a foul against Murdican, so this will be the third time that we'll see a Panther player go to the free throw line. Lead still at double digits. It's the first points of the night for Jacob Drain. And they're able to get the missed free throw for another chance. That's another foul. Josh Morris will go to the free throw line. Was perfect the last time around. How the Spartans do this offensively to get back into it. Again, the biggest problem has not been able to stop them offensively, as there was a handoff pass that was deflected by Murdican. Here comes transition, good pass basketball. Extra chance, just missed, foul. As Downey will go to the free throw line. Again, so early, what the Panthers have done very well from a defensive standpoint is making it very easy for the Spartans to try and pass it out to the other man. Usually someone from the Panthers is getting deflection or getting a hand on it, so it has made life a little bit difficult. As that is a miss for Downey. And splits the free throws. Decides to take it. A little too strong. Deals up ahead to Murdican, and Murdican starting to spark up a little bit. Fighting for it, almost lost it. And a turnover. The Spartans only down by 10. This will be huge for the Spartans with almost 2 minutes left in this first quarter to get it in thin striking distance. Beals, step back. A little too offline, but offensive rebound for Downey. Tries to tip it back up and in, gets his own miss, and puts it back. Now this is only an 8-point lead. Panthers, and it's back up to 10 for Hutchinson. Hutchinson has not missed a shot at all this first quarter, and he has taken a lot of them. 3 from inside the arc and 2 from outside, and a pair of free throws on top, and it swatted away was Murdican with the block. In and out. And back up again. Bergan tries to go all the way and does. Hutchinson, one of the first misses that we've seen, and Smith might have gotten a piece of it on the layup attempt. Now the Spartans showing up defensively here late in the first quarter. And again, too easy of a bucket for Croft. Tip back up to Smith. Smith had a few baskets early on in the game. There's a foul that was sent to the line. Simmons checking in for McInnes. Go sit down. Simmons decides he's going to go coast to coast with it. Throws up a wild shot. His teammate right behind him, Dominic Driscoll-Fraze, able to put one up at the buzzer. As you have the Panthers leading it 37-24 after the conclusion of this first quarter. As we head in the second quarter, you see some highlights here. A good pass set up for the Panthers to Hutchinson, who was unstoppable in that first quarter. Another replay, Hutchinson again from the mid-range J, capitalizing. There you see Smith driving from the right side and finishing with the right hand. Again, some good passing from Hutchinson out to Moores, who was a factor. Again, the passing, the willingness to be able to not only fake the three, drive in with an easy handoff. That's just what you saw most of this first quarter. And the brilliant shooting display from all the Panthers from three-point range. With that being said, we will take a quick break. And we should be back here very shortly with the start of the second quarter. And welcome back. Quick out of the timeout for the first quarter. As you can see, the Panthers lead it 37-24. You get the rebound by Moores. Quick handoff. We're outside, and Croft. And that's almost a turnover. And picked up by Weston Brown, who's in. Brown makes a move. Couple defenders, a turnaround jumper, good. Weston Brown, that is technical footwork. Driving to your left, staying patient, turnaround mid-range jumper. That is not an easy shot to take. Moores gets the offensive rebound, kicks it out to Croft. And that Croft is perfect from the three-point line. Has made 2 of 2 shots. As we go right now, Bergan will throw the inbound pass into Brown. Brown thought about it. Well played. Downey drives in. That is a tough shot. He's rebounded for another chance by Doncaster and stolen away by the Spartans. Jumper taken. Can't get it to sink down. Double team coming. And finally, the Panthers were able to get into Dartmouth High territory. Croft, top of the key, a little bit of a heat check. Downey driving on Croft, and that's a very tough shot if you're Jamal Downey. You're turning, going left while trying to finish with your right hand. Here comes the inbound pass. You see some full court press from Dartmouth, trying to get the hands out. And this is probably a good, different look, but you gotta still be able to finish. And that is a block. But again, so far, Woodlawn's been dominating with the second chance opportunities, just being able to get offensive board and find an open man. Again, patience from Bernican, no good. Brown with the offensive rebound. And the foul occurred before the shot was taken. And you can see Moore said, shrugged his shoulders, said, I don't know about that one. The play goes on. Only basket that's been made so far by the Spartans was by Brown, who's currently in for Taquan Beals. As Beals and Smith look to check in. Tough shot by Brown. Was defended by Morris, who was able to get a block. Hutchinson from the ground. No way! Driscoll Fraze with the connection from downtown. And that was off a brilliant assist, too, from Hutchinson. He was all the way sitting on the ground. You don't see too many sit assists very often in basketball, but you saw that there. Let's try to see if we can get that as we have a couple of substitutions. Drain. Good move. Had space. Couldn't get it to flush home. Amani. Smith to Brown. Brown still in. Smith trying to locate it. Extra pass effort. Amani was flowing out of bounds, able to throw him at a travel. And those are always calls or fundamental basketball always kill you when you get turnovers and fouls like that. Hayden Cheney subbing in for Brown. As Cheney will have the tough assignment of guarding Hutchinson. And it was off a couple of players, and to the dismay of the coaching staff for the Panthers, it will stay Dartmouth basketball. Beals to Amani, back out to Penny to Beals again. This transition offense has been a problem as Hutchinson continues to have a day. Right now, Hutchinson's already at 16 points, but he's not the only player in double figures. You have Josh Moores at 12. You have also Count Croft with 12, and pardon me, and Moores with 11. (49-26) lead. This Panthers defense stifling. Only allowed the 2 points. Murninghan just got to throw it up. Was halfway in and out. Hutchinson driving coast to coast. Yes. As Hutchinson gives himself a yell of praise after that make. And that's been the biggest problem. If you were to talk about some of the issues for Dartmouth from a defensive standpoint, getting back on defense, because anytime you see Woodlawn come up with the ball and they transition, how fast they get back offensively. You have not seen the adjustments from Dartmouth to be able to get a few guys back off of misses. And that has led to plenty of fast break points and very good half-court offense as Hutchinson gets fouled and will go to the free throw line. Hutchinson went to the line earlier. It was perfect 2 of 2. He's 2 points away from putting up 20. As of right now, the team is shooting 88.89% from the line. Only missed came from Jacob Drain when he split the free throws his first time around. Beals, pull up, no. Beals gets his own miss, the rebound, back to Amani. Amani going all the way, kicked out by Moores. And a foul against turnover for Woodlawn. There's a pull-up from Beals. That's a three-pointer. Much needed. They've only attempted 4, but made 3 of them, so they're shooting a high percentage. Rain, plenty of space. Rebounded again. Moores, no. Moores, good extra pass. Who else? Hutchinson. This man, 23 points. And Cheney can't get it to go from the corner. 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Who can stop Hutchinson? Seems like no one can. And is trying to come up with that 50-50 ball. No one can get a hand on it. Simmons and then fighting for it and securing it is Driscoll Fraze. Point lead for the Panthers. They have not let up on this lead once. The closest this game was an 8-point margin back late in that first quarter, and then a foul called. Darius Fader with a chance to get his first points. Fader 2 of 2. Total free throws. You have the Spartans that have taken 6, made 4. And you have the Panthers who have attempted 10 and made 9. Nice pass out to the corner. Croft. You bet. Eight three-pointers have been made. And a good response with the runner. And you saw there, Driscoll Fraze almost missed it. Hutchinson get fouled. Hutchinson tied with his teammate Moores for the most free throws attempted and made in this game. Croft thought about it. Back out to Driscoll Fraze, back out to Croft. Drain, dry, just missed. And rebounded by Doncaster. Foul in the reach-in. Substitution, Smith back in as well as Downey. Turnover, Simmons does have Croft on the right side. And Smith with a foul, no, travel. Go the other way. Bales was trying to hand it off to Doncaster, went right through the hands and out of bounds. Passing, deadly. Croft, deadlier. Someone get a fire extinguisher for his hand because it's blazing. And Smith with a make. And a little too high. Pass from Hutchinson. Been also a very good facilitator when needed. He's been the go-to man offensively. It's been Hutchinson and also Croft. Croft with 18 points. Hutchinson's 23. 3 Panther players in double figures. Meanwhile, so far, based on the stat keep I've done for Dartmouth, they have had no player who's made the double figures. But Beals trying to change that. Quick pass, Kevin Love-esque, and who else? Croft trying to go for his with his running mate to see who can score the most points. Light show, and Beals back-to-back buckets. Good sign. Need him to get going. Hutchinson with a no-look pass back out to Croft. Are you kidding me, Croft? Get out of town. They can't stop him. Both teams trading basket after basket after basket. There has been no lid on any run to speak of with the last 2 minutes of play in the second quarter. Murnican just missed but does get fouled. .67 to 41 lead. And now Croft is actually tied with his teammate Hutchinson for 23 points. And Murnican misses both. Croft, Monty fighting for it. Good pass to Beals. Beals has been scored 6 points in just the last few minutes of the second quarter. Five seconds left. Beals has to create some space. Take one before violation. Just missed. But what an exciting first half of play we have had. You saw both teams, again, the closest it was when it was an 8-point game within that first quarter, but so far it has been a great shooting effort from the Panthers. They have made 10 three-pointers, have attempted around 11. Could be a little bit off of the stat keeping, but they've made 10 for sure. It's 30 of their 67 points coming up. You see some of the highlights, and Croft being one of them. Tied with his teammate Hutchinson with 23 points. He's been good. And Brown, too, you can see that barrier jumper, really great footwork on that play. I was very impressed with what he was able to do at the time that he was given off the bench. Just good extra pass out. It just seems anytime they've had someone open from the corner or from the wing, from three-point distance, they have been tremendous. Again, here it is a 67-43 lead for the Panthers at the half. So for myself, Connor Cannon, and the rest of the crew from Maritime Athletic Profiles will take a break and bring you back with some second half action, but not after this amazing highlight reel that we've seen from this first half of play. Welcome back here, folks. About to start the second half where you have the Panthers with a 24-point lead over the Spartans. Just some key notes from that first half. If you watch some of the basketball game, the one thing Dartmouth has to prove on defensively is how do you slow down the likes of Dalen Hutchinson and Cone Croft. They both have 23 points apiece, leading their teams in points. And this things to know, what has been very difficult for Dartmouth is their transition defense. So if you notice with Woodlawn, what they'll do when they get a defensive rebound is immediately run the fast break. So they're very good. So they have to get defenders back to try and stop this transition offense that has been very effective. Hutchinson just misfires there on that attempt. And there was almost a turnover. Monty came up with it, able to get it to Downey. Beals trying to get it to Murnican, and goes out of bounds still with Dartmouth. Well, again, so far, that's what they're going to have to do, and they're going to have to get Beals going. He started heating up a little bit towards the end of that second quarter, had 6 points in the last 2 minutes or so. So they just have to get stops from a defensive standpoint, but it's been tough because whenever, not only the transition offense for the Panthers has been solid as Smith drives in and just missed with Morris comes up with the rebound. Good bounce pass up ahead to Drain. Drain bounces it off his foot. And here comes Murnican, one-on-one with Hutchinson. That's good. First points of the third quarter and second half belong to Dartmouth. But as we're saying, what's so hard about this Panthers offense is their ability to not only, if they miss a shot, but get second chance opportunities and find open man. The defenses had tried to adjust doing zone. The problem with playing zone is Smith misses there, that if you overcommit and draws defenders in, you leave offensive players open from the wing or from the corner. That gives open three-point shots. And Smith with a statement block to open up the second half. Came flying in with no remorse. And that's the defensive intensity that you want to see Dartmouth have to open up the second half, in a quick timeout taken, I believe, by Woodlawn. So we'll see some of the replays here. The nice pass up ahead to Murnican from Amani, was able to finish with the right hand off the glass. You see Moores in transition with a good underhand pass, but blocked with authority by Smith. One of the better blocks. There's been a few blocks throughout this game, but that's probably the highlight block of the day. And as we talked a good bit about the Panthers, and we talk about Dartmouth, what they need to get back into it is getting stopped defensively. It comes down to that. It's simple basketball when you say it out loud, but they were able to get a couple stops here. And they've had the right idea. They've had a lot of times using their skill guards to drive inside the paint. That leaves a couple of open players at what they call the dunker spot, which is right near the restricted area. And they're able to usually hand the pass over, and that leads to usually a wide open layup or at least a wide open shot. So Dartmouth has gotten the looks that they've wanted, not necessarily to capitalize. You also have to give credit to the Panthers defense, is that they've made it very difficult. Even when you hand off that pass after going inside the lane, it has still been difficult to try to get points. Pass ahead, 2-on-1 break, and Murnican with a good defensive deflection to keep it from being an easy fast break points. Jump ball. In that first half, it was almost as open as a transit highway for the Panthers, but you saw Murnican be able to position himself correctly to at least try and stop that 2-on-1 opportunity. And Amani goes all the way in through the teeth of defense for two. Hutchinson to Drain, well played by Downey. Help defense comes. Hutchinson going all the way in. Murnican with the tip, get to Beals. Beals trying to throw the outlet pass up ahead to Amani. Pickpocket by Drain. Some gold and navy jerseys on the floor. thought about it. Downey, no hesitation. Off the rim, Panthers have possession. They have Croft out in the corner, left side. Hutchinson, guarded by Amani. Drain, still can't find the range, but miss was picked up by McInnes, and he makes it. It's the first make of this third quarter by the Panthers. After all these misses, it gets wedged between the rim and the backboard. And it'll go the other way. You don't see that too often, but just unfortunate, as it will go to the Panthers. Drain still not finding the range. He has not been able to get many shots to go down throughout the game. It's Hutchinson is firing a bit. Again, that hot start to the first half where it seemed everything that Woodlawn would put up would go in. Now not doing so much here in this third quarter. Hutchinson waiting on the screen from his teammate McInnes. Good one-on-one defense by Monty. Hutchinson continues to misfire. Beals has some options. No look pass. Down to Murnigan, had a look at it, was bothered by the defense. And full court press. Moores and Smith with another block, I believe. Smith with a pair of blocks in this third quarter. All of them have been key. And Hutchinson still can't even buy it one. Had some space, and Smith just missed it as Beals had a good pass. And for those tuning in, another shout out to Marytown Athletic Profiles for producing this matchup. Going to do a lot around the Maritime conferences. Work a lot with the universities here as St. Mary's, St. FX, Acadia, just name a few. A lot of the school sports. Also providing a platform too for these local communities. Croft, again, there's a lot of the key players that have been good as whistle called. And looking for an explanation is Croft. A deep shot from Beals. Unfortunate for Dartmouth, they just haven't been able to get it to go as Hutchinson again. Misses are piling up for him. And the pass, just tough and ugly basketball from both teams, frankly. And it's, again, if you're a Dartmouth fan, unfortunate because they've gotten stops. They just haven't been able to cash it in on the other end of the floor. Now, as we were saying, some of the keys in that first half was defensively. Get a few turnovers, get a couple of baskets. And maybe they'll be able to do it this time. Morris picks up the foul. He can't believe it. and makes both of them. Drain, good inside pass to McGinnis. McGinnis had that open, was on top of the lid, flurrying to go in, just couldn't get it to go. Another foul, and Downey draws it again. Good chance to chip at this lead that is still by 20. Croft taking it up for the Panthers. Gets the screen from Moores. McGinnis does have some space. They can pass to him if they want. And decides to take the mid-range. No. Beals has space from the mid-range. Gets it. Drain. And that's a block by Smith. That is 3. When I say 3 in this third quarter alone. You see Smith getting some instruction from the coaching staff as a timeout is called. And we'll keep it here. Again, so far only a 16-point lead. It was up by more than 26, so they're getting there to see some of the highlights from this third quarter. Again, one of the highlight blocks there from Smith. He's had 3. Drive from Amani all the way to the cup. And McGinnis with the finish off the miss. And there you see moments ago that was just hit. The jumper from Beals. Talked about Beals. We're talking about a player to watch out for. Had that strong finish in the second quarter. And has continued to lead this team in the third. And this is what happens usually when you're a team that's up by 20-plus points, in command. You give a little bit of life for a team that is fighting back, and that momentum might be enough to get it within close enough to make you feel uncomfortable if you're a Panthers fan. Dartmouth does have a bit of a home stand in their schedule. They'll be playing tomorrow against West, and then February 3rd will be seniors night. They play Bayview. Beals takes a screen from Murdican, hands it off to his teammate Amani. Amani, that is tough, down to Smith, who very effective offensively in that first quarter. Just a little bit off on that attempt outside the post. Jump ball. And we'll stay with Woodlawn High School. Moores, guarded by Murdican. Hutchinson, that's a first make for him in this third quarter. 26 points. Fantastic. He's made 4 3-pointers. Big shot. And back to back. Beals said, you can hit one, I could do the same. Moores knew he was short. The second he released it, was trying to track it down. Beals on Hutchinson. I think maybe it was blocked by Hutchinson. Moore's extra pass, Hutchinson. He was trying to call for a foul. Not going to get the whistle. Beals. Croft has options. Decides I'll take it myself. Too strong off the back iron. Moores thought about it. Says I'll take it. And that's a 3 for Moores. So that is 12 made 3-pointers for this team. They lead at 75-56. And that's good for Beals. Split the free throws. And that's a steal. Downey goes on Moores. Moores picks up a foul. He's picked up a few here with almost a minute left to go in the third quarter. And that's a make for Drain. That's good to go. Hutchinson, no, rebounded by Amani. Again, Dartmouth, they've done a great job of keeping this Panther offense in check. Only have scored 10 points. And me oh my, Beals cashing in from behind the arc. And this is not over by a stretch here, folks, as the shooting from Beals, able to do it all ends, is over double figures in points, along with Smith being a factor defensively for Dartmouth. And on top of that, you've had some great play from Victor Amani. And additionally to Downey, who's been great from the free throw line. And for the Panthers, they do have a 13-point lead here. But again, they've led it by almost close to 30 here in this game. So there will be a lot more to see as you see some of the highlights from that third quarter. You can see Beals capitalize from the mid-range. Hutchinson, that was his only make, too, in that third quarter after he was unconscious in the first quarter. You see Beals gets to his spot, no hesitation. Moores, too, has been Victor Drain, who's been quiet, even though he's not had the best night defensively, setting up his teammate, giving his team opportunities, and an acrobatic finish for Beals, and to cap it off, shot and make right before the buzzer of the third quarter. Beals, guarded by Drain. Beals, though, all the way in. And no good. Again, if you can do what Dartmouth did in that third quarter, which again, a lot of full court press, good pressure. Drop, that is a blasting block from Smith. He has been a terror in the interior paint defensively. He's been the anchor and star for this Dartmouth team. He's had his own individual block party. Rain, that is not the easiest run to roll. Had a chance, gets his own miss, hands off quickly to his teammate. Lots of contact. Smith. Almost lost for words. I was trying to think about what I could say about what Smith has been doing, but any single time a Panther player has had the thought of shooting it from 3 feet and under, it's been no dice. Hutchinson, and again Smith affecting the shot. He is taking it upon himself to get stops, to try to get this offense going. And Amani comes up with a steal. There's a foul. And that way, Dartmouth is closer and closer from getting this to single digits. And this is what you love to see. They could have gone right in the first half and say, like, it's too much of a lead, but they got a pep talk at halftime, I'm sure. And it's lit them up. And try and come back and get a win. Good bounce pass. It's open for Simmons, and that's his first basket I've seen him make. Ringhand gets fouled. Two free throws for Hurricane. He missed his first pair and continues to have that goose egg from the free throw line. Drain, lots of space, lots of time. And that's great hesitation. He saw Beals trying to close it out, used the momentum against him, drove past him, and got the layup. Drain, extra pass out to Hutchinson. Hutchinson, too strong. And I think it was blocked partially by Croft. And Smith got a taste of his own medicine that time around, where he was blocked on a shot attempt. And I don't even think that was close for Martinez Spray Frazier. Shooting woes for Hutchinson continue. Smith does get hacked while he was driving, as he's Simmons a little bit frustrated with himself. Smith has attempted the most free throws. He's at 5. This will be his 6th. Splits him. Croft, not enough power underneath it. Passes ahead to Amani from Beals. That's good transition offense. And a foul call before the shot. They'll go against Beals. Moores looks like he'll be subbing into the game. Coming in for his teammate, Frazier. Will go take a seat. Moores the pass inside to Simmons, and that is a heck of a shot. It just seemed like he threw it in to see if there was a prayer to go in, and it did. Beals to Murnaghan. Murnaghan off the glass, no. Couple of tip outs, and the Panthers have it. Reaching foul, and again, so with Dartmouth, they've had a few chances. Had a really solid third quarter with her in pretty close range in that fourth quarter. But again, they're going to have to make a few shots, play well defensively, and see where the chips may lie after that. As Woodlawn High School has not given up the lead at all one time. And Smith, that is at least 5-6 blocks I've seen him have. Step back for Hutchinson. We have a couple of Panther players down on the floor, no whistle call. Beals, no. Rebound by Croft. Does have Drain and Moores up ahead. Inside, he's going to take it himself. Simmons with the rebound. No! A circus shot from Simmons goes in. Hutchinson driving on Amani. Foul called against Amani. Hutchinson got tripped up. Expected a foul call. A little slow to get, seems all right. Good pass out to Moores. Was a little bit contested, bothered him maybe a little bit. Dartmouth needs makes in a hurry. And that's not going to help. Moores try to go behind the back with it. Beals. Downey gets an offensive rebound and putback goes. travel against Moores. Good pass inside to Smith. Stop and a basket makes it 10 points. Lead for the Panthers. Closest it was an 8-point lead back in that second quarter. Checked at the first quarter. And this has been a dominant game stretch. Turnover, chance to cut it within 10. That is a huge basket made for Dartmouth. Now they're only down 10 with 3:14 left to go in this fourth and final quarter. And you'll see here some of the replays of what we've had transpire in this fourth quarter. Beals getting blocked, but Smith trying to get up. I was talking about that play, is that he was blocked. He's putting up Victor Wembanyama-like numbers in the blocking stat category. He has around 5 or 6 blocks, and it fits because he wears number 1. See a tough shot made by Simmons. Surprising. A couple of them where as a coach you would not be happy with, but can't really say anything because there was a block from Smith and another one, or at least close to one. And you see Simmons with a wild finish, and there you see Downey with that put back. Good passing inside for Smith. And finally, here was the last play before the timeout called that cut this lead, which is 10 points, and Dartmouth only a stop and a basket away, making it a single-digit lead for the Panthers. Now we're out of the timeout. Moores. Back to Hutchinson. Stellar first half. A little bit of a dismal, quiet second half. Hudson. Vertigan. Pass. Simmons. Here's Dartmouth. They have a chance, an opportunity, less than 3 minutes to go. Beals with the crossover. Beals, brilliant spin move. No way! Beals cuts it within 8 points using the crazy footwork and the spin move for the layup finish. That's about as poetic as you'll ever see. They still need a lot more stops to go. Hutchinson, no, rebounded by Smith. Can Beals close us out and not only tie it, as no, just missed there. Drainer with the rebound, only one Dartmouth player back, and they get back before they had the man advantage. Moores has a wide open Croft. He's been great there and continues to be great. That is a huge shot for the Panthers. Leads back up to double figures. Monty, the rebound, no. Smith, chance, yes. A little stoppage here. Some conversation from the refs to say knock it off a little bit between Amani and Hutchinson. He's trying to argue his case. He's saying, I'm not doing anything, and Again, there's some more conversation going on. They're trying to change the score. Now some good discussion of what the score should be here. Both people not very pleased here as there's some discussion going on. As it was believed to be 89-79, and now it's only an 8-point lead. As Croft drive in, does have some space, rolls out. Beals has a chance. Off Hutchinson. Beals. Gets a screen, decides to take it. The too strong off the backboard. Hutchinson wide open. That should be easy too. And it is. And a turnover. That hurts. 10 points. Woodlawn looking to take a victory over Dartmouth here in the Dartmouth High Gymnasium. Croft, too long, nothing but air that time. Simmons again, he just had a knack for saying, I'm going to make the toughest shot possible and make it consistently. Simmons with the rebound. And that will do it about here. Have to appreciate the fight for Dartmouth. They kept it interesting in that third and fourth quarter, but they lead too much for Dartmouth as we're approaching the final buzzer. And Hutchinson, towards the end of the game, trying to throw it back in as he's a little bit slow to get up. And hopefully Hutchinson's okay. He's been a huge impact player. And that does it here in this fourth quarter. Final score of 93-81 in favor of the Woodland High School Panthers. And we'll give a quick little recap of this game up to this point, starting with the victorious Panthers. Probably the most impressive play has to be from Dalen Hutchinson. He had that fantastic first quarter. Finished with 28 points according to the stats. Was effective from all three levels, from distance, mid-range, inside the paint. And he was also very active defensively. As you see, handshakes going all around between the Spartans and the Panthers. Not only that, his teammate and running mate, Cal Croft, was an absolute dynamite from distance. He had 7 attempts, made 6 of them according to what we have. So 18 of the 26 points he had were all just from sitting in that corner spot, and he was lights out. Another player to mention for as well, Josh Morris had an effective day, contributed in the point total as well as defensively, getting rebounds, second chance opportunities. There's a few players to highlight for Woodlawn. And then we'll finish off with the home Dartmouth Spartans. Khalil Smith, what name to say about him? He had around 6+ blocks in that game. He was an anchor defensively and really helped get these runs going. And he was responsible for getting back in, along with Taekwon Beals, who led the way in points. Was struggling a little bit that first quarter, had a strong in the second quarter, and that third and fourth quarter showed to be the dynamic playmaker and scorer that he is. So just a couple players to note for both the Spartans and the Panthers. That's going to do it here from Dartmouth High Gymnasium. Myself, Connor McKinnon, and the production team from Maritime Athletic Profiles wish you so long. And until next time, everybody.